Hey, what's going on, everyone? Today I'm going to talk about what I would recommend for your next bird feeder. This is after getting the tube feeder using safflower seed. Um, what if you wanted to attract more birds and different kinds of birds? This is what I would recommend you do next, and it is suet cages. It's as simple as it looks. There's a lid. You put the suet cake in there, close it. They all come with a chain. And the first reason why I would recommend these is because they're really cheap. Each cage is only, $3 or $4. And because they're so cheap, you can hang them all over your yard. You can hang them outside your bedroom window if you wanted to. If you wanted to watch birds, or outside your living room window. So they're so cheap, you can buy as many as you want. You can plant a shepherd's hook in the yard and hang them from the shepherd's hook. And from there, things really start to open up. So you can see in your yard if there's a place where the birds seem to eat it faster than others, then maybe that's where they like to go. The second reason why I would recommend these suet cages is because suet cakes come in all different flavors for the birds, and so these are suet cakes. They have multiple different flavors. This one is insect, so it actually has mealworm and bug pieces, I guess, in them, and that's what they look like on the back. It's just like a brick of feed. This one is peanut. It has a lot of peanut and seeds in it. This one is peanut seeds, mealworms, and in this one you can actually see the pieces in them. And so you can experiment with different ones, and if you see certain kinds of birds go into a certain suet cage, you can say maybe, if I see a cardinal go into this one, I can get a suet cake that will be more, that cardinals may like better. So you can kind of start to pick and choose locations and suet cake flavors, and it's really as easy as that. So all you do is, it helps if you don't clip your nails the night before. And this suet cage in particular is one I put out for blue jays that come to my yard. So with the blue jays, I prefer the ones that have like a lot of nuts. Like they like peanuts, and they also like things like raisins and dried cherries and things like that. This doesn't have any fruit in it, but they like the peanuts that's in them. And so you just drop it in, click it down, and there's a tree in my backyard that I hang this from. I just kind of loop it around the branch. So I get all these. If you live in East Texas, there's a store called Rubicon in Flint, and that's where I've been buying my suet cake lately. My secondary choice is Tractor Supply. But if I'm in a pinch, any cheap suet cake, you can get one that costs $1 and just put it in your feeder for now until you can, make a trip over to a place where you prefer your seed cakes or suet cakes. So from there, you can really start to expand your possibilities, like this one here. This is the same concept. You just drop a suet cake in there. And this one here is meant for woodpeckers. So you can see these grooves are actually, so they can grip on and eat out of it. And the way it's shaped, it kind of adds a place where they can kind of brace against. Woodpeckers like to kind of hang while they eat, and it gives them a place where they can kind of brace and kind of balance against that. So with this woodpecker one, I like to use this one. It has a woodpecker on it. I think this has corn and peanuts in it, which they'll eat as well. Woodpeckers, I find, will eat pretty much anything. Now, when you start hanging these suet cages, this is where you start to run into a squirrel problem. So I live in East Texas, and squirrels are a nuisance. You can't grow vegetables or anything without squirrels getting to them. So this is why I recommend you start buying ones that say hot pepper or spicy or things like that, because for those of you that don't know, birds can't taste spicy, so it'll keep squirrels away, but the birds will still eat it. So this is a spicy one here. It's spicy peanut. And these, you're really not supposed to touch them because the spices will get into your pores and stuff. I find it, they don't really bother me that much. This one here, you can actually smell it. It kind of burns your sinuses if you smell it. This one's called Flaming Hot Feast by Mr. Bird. And I find both flavors, squirrels still tend to stay away. So then, when you start to attract birds, you start to know which flavors they like. You can get something like this. This one I got specifically for bluebirds because this grill that's on here, it's meant for blue jays to actually go in, blue jays and smaller to go in, and not other kind of birds like grackles and mockingbirds and stuff like that. Something that will just tear up the suet cake. So for the bluebirds, I'm gonna try this one. I think this is my first time trying it, but it's same brand, Insect, Pine Tree Farms Never Melt Suet, and it's the insect flavor. Also, that is a thing. There are some suet cakes that you will see, they'll specify never melt or won't melt. And I find I don't really have that problem. Even the ones that don't say that it won't melt, I just don't have a problem with it melting. So if you're gonna spend the money, if you don't mind spending the money for the ones that say never melt, why not? But if it's a big money difference, if it's like a $1 extra for the ones that say no melt, I wouldn't bother with it. They'll eat it faster than it'll melt anyway. So yeah, my third bit of advice would be to not clip your nails the day before you're going to shoot a video. Hang on, give me a minute. So yeah, this one, I really wouldn't, there's no hurry to get it right away. It's not like you buy this first and then a week later you're buying this. This one I bought just because I wanted to, and I specifically wanted to attract bluebirds, and bluebirds go to it, but I find more like nuthatches and chickadees and woodpeckers actually go to this more than bluebirds. So anyway, this I would recommend as your second bird feeder. If you want to try something like this, these aren't so expensive that it's not. It's still worth a try for the price. But something like this, if you really want it, go ahead and get it. But if you don't really want to spend the money, you're not missing out on too much buying something like this. So anyway, I hope that helps. Oh, I guess I should say one reason why I wouldn't recommend this one is, hang on, once you get the suet cake in there, see, you put the lid on, and everything is held together by just that. You screw that on, and I've had squirrels like hang on to this and spin it around and do whatever until it finally unscrews and the whole thing just falls off. And the ring part's still hanging up in the tree, and the squirrels have already gotten the cakes inside. So I just kind of rigged up a piece of chain that I passed through it and closed like that to keep the lid on. So anyway, this particular feeder, it feel free to wait on this, but this one I would definitely get if you want to start attracting more birds and want to experiment with what works and what doesn't. So I hope that helps. Have fun, and thanks for watching.